The Chase Young factor is fascinating. We obsess over Odell Beckham as a national media and where he's ending up and where he goes and how he will affect the NFC East. We haven't seen Chase Young in 381 days. He tore his knee up last year, Week 10 against the Buccaneers. He is now going to emerge onto the field as a December add-on. We don't know what version of him we're going to get. We do know that the Washington Commanders defense has been okay since he first left the field. Look, this is it. Week 10 last year, this guy was Defensive Rookie of the Year. He had 7.5 sacks. He forced 4 fumbles. And now, despite his absence, Washington still has 12th best defense, 6th against the run, 3rd and 3rd down efficiency. And like other leaders have emerged. Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, Montez Sweat, first-round picks. Each one of those guys has 6.5 sacks. You're adding one of the best college football pass rushers over the last decade to the mix in December, and you're telling me that they're getting him on an already stacked defense that's gotten a lot of the guys in the defensive backfield too? I don't think many people had the Commanders going on this run, and Heineke's going to get all the attention. The defense has been really good. They keep the offense in these games, and I think Chase Young, as recent as 2 years ago, the COVID season, we were talking about Chase Young. It was like Kyler Murray went first overall, and then Bosa went second overall in that draft. Okay, well, this draft, this is the Chase Young draft with Burrow, and who's it going to be that's going to be the guy that ends up
performing?
Yeah.
And he was as big as Burrow that first year. He was as big as Justin
He felt
Herbert.
like Micah Parsons.
He seriously did.
Yeah.
We haven't heard his name in 381 days. Ian's right. A knee and then an illness before the game on Sunday, which a lot of people are scratching their heads saying, don't you just want to get out there and play, whatever it is. Great point, Jamie. They have a bye after this week, but I think you'd love to see just a sprinkle of Chase Young. And if Chase Young comes back and he's committed, wow, we're talking about a team that not just playoffs, but like, hey, what can they do once they get into the playoffs?
Yeah, it's a great point. And Ron Rivera said more convincing wins, and somebody like Chase Young on an already good defense can give you that extra edge. And one of the main things they said was that injuries getting over it mentally, feeling comfortable and confident.
You know who he's been talking to a lot? Thomas Davis and him have been talking a lot. Thomas Davis, of course, had the 3 ACLs.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's been a guy he's been talking with. Of course, there's connections through Coach Ron Rivera.
For sure. Oh, that's huge right there. And I'm looking at another player on the other side for the New York Giants, and that's Saquon Barkley, a guy who has been dominant for them this season. But you look at it, in their last 4 games are 3 of his worst rushing games that he's had the entire season. And Saquon has been the driving force from early on. We've watched how Dable and Mike Kafka down there have been able to use him and place him places where he's getting handoffs, running the ball, but he's also catching the ball out of the backfield. And we've seen some explosive runs, him making guys miss, and it's been very exciting to watch. He's such a good player. But right now, the Giants are struggling, and a lot of it has to do because of Saquon's production. You look at their wins and their losses and where he's at rushing the ball. Look at those drastic changes from left to right. And it's going to come down to Brian Dable and Mike Kafka. All right, now the stretch of the season, these meaningful games, how are you able to get Saquon going? Where are you able to move him around to get him the ball and get him in open space? What's going to help is Daniel Bellinger, their tight end. He's coming back. He can block, and he's a guy that can also open up the lanes as he became one of Daniel Jones' favorite target. And then Evan Neal on the offensive line and Ben Brinson are both coming back. So that should help with the rushing attack, but they have to get Saquon going. And I think Dable is the guy to do that. And when they do, I think the Giants are going to be scary coming down the stretch.
Really?
Well, we saw a little bit more of them early on in the season when they were
You don't feel like they're on fumes right now?
They are on fumes, and I think getting some guys back healthy, being able to get Saquon going will help get those fumes a little bit taken away.
It's like we were saying, like you can hear the air coming out of the balloon, or maybe it's like flying all around the room like that. I just think that we started the segment talking about stories of the year. The Giants were the story of September. I mean, the Giants were blowing up the world, and it's, oh my God, Daniel Jones and Saquon and Daboll's the truth. Meanwhile, Washington's 1-4, and we're like, oh, you losers.
Yeah.
Washington sucks. Carson Wentz sucks. Blah 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 blah. And now they turn it around completely, and I love that, and that's why I have my eyes on the Commanders in this game. All they do is win every single week, and I think there's a misconception about them, about their image and how they're made up because of Taylor Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke a few years ago was competing with Mike Kafka to be Teddy Bridgewater's backup on the Vikings. Came out of nowhere, XFL, that type of deal. So you look at them as the Vikings are this working class blue collar team. Bull crap. They got Ohio State and Alabama playmakers all over the field. Peter talked about the D-line. Their quarterback is working class, but they are a really, really talented, loaded, blue-chip team with a head coach that's been to the Super Bowl. And, like, they are compact and ready. And, I talked yesterday about easy targets in the league. Washington is first team All-American easy
What's
target.
that mean? Explain that.
Meaning like they're just a convenient punchline. That if you need a witty tweet or a funny meme, you make fun of Washington. And it's easy, and they deserve a lot of it. And they haven't won a playoff game, I think, since I was in college. And I've had a hard time adjusting even to the word Commanders. It's like, that's your name, really? And it was blown, of course, from the aerial shot. I've had a hard time adjusting to the uniforms aesthetically. They look like they're from the XFL themselves. But I'm coming around, and I really am. And you know, Sunday was a perfect example, because the whole internet's losing their mind making fun of the Sean Taylor statue, and God bless them. Well, the Commanders won again that day. They won. They won on the field. So maybe the optics aren't great, or maybe they don't always make the best decisions. They definitely don't. But this year they win, and they win over and over and over again. And guys, look at your watch. Like, they win every week, and they have a massive record. They were 1-4, and we ripped them off and said, the Giants are going to win everything. It's the Commanders. Now, make fun of them if you want. Just know they win every week. Make fun of that.
I don't know if anybody else has this sense, but it feels like Ron Rivera has been there for 10 years with what Washington has gone through. But it's his third season at the helm of this football team, and in his first 2 years, he had 7 wins. Great. The first season, he led the NFC East because it was a terrible division that season in 2020. Well, the Commanders already have 7 wins this season, and it's not even December yet, and that would make a lot of people happy, but you could hear it in Ron Rivera's voice that this team wants more, it needs more, they think that they can win more. And I'm a firm believer in the old school philosophy of, like, get points early, score a lot, and then run the ball, run that clock as fast as you possibly can, and get the heck out of town. The Commanders' run game, I mean, they were on angry runs. They almost walked away with the scepter this week with Brian Robinson playing out of his mind. But this team, the run game, it has just been slowly plotting. They're making highlights. They're moving the ball down the field. Taylor Heinicke is playing great, but he is not the only guy that is setting up this team, getting second and long and then achieving like a 17-yard rush. Here's what they've done in their wins. Now, they're 5-1 since Heinicke took over, of course, but I think a lot of that has to do with the 100-plus rush games that the Commanders have done coming out of the backfield. They're one of 5 teams in the league right now that have 2 rushers that have more than 450 yards this season. One of 5 teams. If you have a run game with how long this season has become, and they're healthy. Brian Robinson looks great. He kind of, I think, has become the emotional leader of the offense, at least. You saw him address the team about what he went through in August, and everyone was nodding their head and buying into him. Having a run game healthy as you approach the end of December and into January, I think, is massive.
Can I just add something? How good does it feel to have Washington, New York, NFC, like, matter in
Just
December?
the division, I'm obsessed.
In December, like,
Yeah.
this is what I grew up with in the 90s, where it was every single week when Washington and the Giants would play, a playoff berth was on the line.
Yeah.
This feels really cool. 2 out of the next 3 weeks they play each other. While Washington goes on a bye, Giants play the Eagles in the sandwich.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is amazing.
Not even talking Eagles and Cowboys, and they're at the top of the division.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
And Jay still likes the Giants. God bless you. I hope they're right. All 4 teams in the playoffs if they started today.
How often does this happen, where these 2 division teams play each other within 3 weeks of each other with a bye for one of them squeezing?
Quirk.
It doesn't happen a lot.
Quirk.
It's
Not
quirky.
often. It's a scheduling quirk, and we thank the scheduling gods for such
Here we go.
blasphemy.
Exactly.